Good morning. This is Mr. Childs. Monday morning. Uh, I forgot to do the video over the weekend, so I am doing it in class this morning in study hall. That's why I'm wearing the mask. If you remember, we're having a quiz today, not today, tomorrow, Tuesday, over confidence intervals. So this is your review. First concept is knowing what it's called, okay? In our book, it's called a 1 proportion Z interval. But on the website and for these questions, it's called a 1 sample Z interval. So anything else like 2 sample, anything like that we haven't gone over with is not an option for this answer. So I should think that would be enough help for that one. Second concept is the whole idea of what the formula for standard error is, which is P, which is success, times Q, which is failure, over N, which is sample size, square root the whole thing. Now, unfortunately, in my keyboarding skills, I could not find a radical sign that would go over all the answers, so I will put that on the board, kind of a reminder myself in the video, but I have everything but the radical in the answers. Concept 3. Is actually a computing one and finding a confidence interval. Remember, that's P hat plus or minus the margin of error, and the margin of error is made up of Z star, which is your level of confidence, times standard error, which is once again square root of PQ over N. Concept 4. Assumptions and conditions. Remember, assumptions and conditions need to be met before you can even do a confidence interval. And they are making sure the data is random. That's first. Secondly, that the sample size is less than 10% of the entire population. That ensures that the sample is not too large. And finally, the success failure, which is N times P and N times Q greater than or equal to 10. Now, according to the website, I've always said that this ensures that the sample is not too small, but also it ensures that the normalcy of the distribution. So keep that one in mind. Concept 5. Oh, concept 5, yes, good one. Deals with, is the interval going to expand or contract based on 2 factors? A level of confidence, whether it goes higher or lower, and sample size, whether it is larger or smaller. Now think of it. When you have a greater degree of confidence, and when you have a lesser degree of confidence in. Secondly, the sample size. Sample size, remember, it's in the denominator, and it is N. So a larger sample size, smaller sample size. All right. That's concept 5. 6. Oh, 6. Just know the relationship of a margin of error to the entire confidence interval, and you should be all set. we all know it's half of it. So keep that in mind and do the math. 7. Seven is this. When you are doing a confidence interval, you either the true proportion is in there or it is not in there. There's no probability of it being there. Level of confidence does not mean probability. Remember, we take all kinds of samples with their corresponding intervals. If it's 95% confidence, we can assume that approximately 95% of them capture the true proportion. But that does not necessarily say that there is a 95% chance that it's in there. That is not correct. I think that will do it for that one. Concept 8 is just that final statement where I say, I am so and so confident that the true proportion of whatever you're talking about is between the bottom of the interval and the top of the interval. So it's mainly an interpretation of the interval. Concept 9 deals with interpretation of the interval as compared to some sort of standard. We had questions like it from the book where I think it was, I can't remember the names of the problems now, but there was some standard, let's say 20%, and your interval was below the 20%. How would you interpret that? So concept 9 would deal with something like that. And finally, concept 10 is very similar to concept 9. You are trying to determine whether a certain standard is within the interval or not. Remember, if it's in the interval, it supports the claim. If it is not in the interval, it does not support the claim. Okay, so once again, that's going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, we're having this, and we're going to move on to hypothesis tests, which are also called tests of significance. We're going to do that. And so from there, I think there's also a shortened period because of Winter Carnival assembly. So we'll have to adjust for that, but there certainly will be enough time to get the quiz in. I just don't know how much time I'll have for the hypothesis test. We'll see. Okay, I wish you a good day.